Horse Girl, and today my mom is going to be doing a baby bump update, a snow situation, and working with the fillies. So let's go.
Is at school today. I'm off work, so I'm out this morning doing barn chores, and I just wanted to update you guys on our snow situation. So you saw the fillies pasture, the fillies pen from the morning of the last snowstorm. So this is what it looks like today, which is 2 days later, and if you can't see it, it's snowing again. So here we go. I'm gonna turn this around and show you guys. So there is a drift that went right over their pen. So they've been inside. We shoveled this spot for them and then over to their hay bale, which you probably can't even see, but I'm gonna try to get up here. Ugh. Oh geez, I just sunk. Okay, so the snow is pretty much level right with their fence now right here, and their water tank is under there. We shoveled out this area, and then they have a hay bale back there that you can't really see. So this wouldn't be so bad because with the drifts, they should sink technically, but they have this really packed down right here because their water tank's right here. So really, this isn't that deep. And for them to get tangled up in that fence or what have you in the middle of the night would just not be something that's cool. So they're inside. They have a path right here into their water tank for when they do come out. So it goes over here and over there, and then you can see over by there, well maybe you can't, but over by their run-in shed too, they have it dug out. So anyway, that's the update on our snow situation with the fillies. There's Penny waiting to come in. Like Danny talked about on the poll that she did on the community page the other day, the horses, we mostly feed Purina products. We will feed Nutrina from time to time. We do Nutrina maintenance, Safe Choice, and then we do Purina Equine Senior, and we feed Omoline 300, which is for growing foals. So the fillies get the Omoline 300, and then the rest of the herd just gets like a maintenance feed. It's called Strategy by Purina, and we've been very successful with those products over the years, so that's what we feed. And everybody gets a certain weight of green by what their body type is. So for example, let's say Willow, she gets Equine Senior. Even though she's not that old, she has a little bit more trouble keeping on weight. So we give her Equine Senior, and we find that it really helps keep her up there where she needs to be. Doc, even though he holds his weight really great, he is getting up there in years, so he also gets Equine Senior. Dawn, she is my sister's horse, one of her horses. She gets Equine Senior because she is getting up in there in age too. I can't for the life of me think of how old she is, but either way, she's getting up there. And then the bred mares, Nikki, because she is such an easy keeper, she doesn't need a lot of grain, but I still want to make sure she gets all the nutrients and the vitamins. And when I actually had a conversation with the Purina distributors themselves, they suggest that when you have a broodmare, you feed them Equine Senior. So she gets Equine Senior. She only gets a half a scoop, and then she also gets some extra supplements for the development of the baby, for the growth. And then Special, because she's a thoroughbred, she is not an easy keeper, she gets a scoop and a half of Equine Senior every day, plus her vitamins as well. And then we've got the ponies and Sparrow and Dancer. They all get the strategy. So, and again, they get it weight-based ratio. So Sparrow, because she is a super easy keeper, she's a big girl, she only needs like, we give her 2 cups of strategy a day. And then Dancer, who is a little bit, she's not a harder keeper, but she needs the extra right now this year after having the baby and everything last year. It kind of drew her down a little bit, so she is actually getting extra. So this year she's getting a full scoop of strategy. So that's what we do for our grain. Okay, so you guys asked for a baby bump. Picture Nikki. There's her little baby bump. Well, it's not exactly little. It's pretty big. You can see she happily eating her breakfast. But anyway, so Nikki drew the baby bump. Her belly's just vibrating. It's kind of funny. So Miss Nikki here is due sometime in May. She was bred in June, and horses are pregnant for 11 months. I have the actual dates at home. I believe it's around my birthday, which is May 10th. So that's pretty exciting, and we can't wait to meet this newest little member of our farm. So I want to show you the difference in baby bumps between Nikki and Special. Special could also be due in May. That was the end of June was the last time that she was seen in heat, but she was pasture bred, so there's less of a set date, you know, to determine when the baby is due. And so, but I want to show you the difference in baby bump between Nikki and Special, because you saw Nikki's, now this is Special's. Now, to most of you, she may not look pregnant at all, but to me, I know this horse very well, and I know how she carries her weight. And you can see back here a little bit better where she's got a little bit of a pooch going on. Now this horse, especially in winter, never has any type of belly whatsoever. She is usually very thin, very trim mare, so that is, believe it or not, a baby bump for her. Anyway, so there is the difference in baby bumps. And I guess from this angle she does kind of look big, but there's the difference in horse body types. And Special, like I talked about, gets a lot more grain than Nikki does because Special needs it. Nikki, not so much. And they all, yes, don't judge their knots and their manes, guys. With the snowstorms that we've been having, I can't keep up with keeping them out. So we'll take care of that as soon as we can. So here's an update on the snow behind the barn. That's their water tank. Usually this tank sits up to my hip. It's at my ankle. And you can see our makeshift binder twine fence over there, because that fence that is also usually at my hip is buried in snow. These dogs sure don't mind the snow at all. They're having fun. And then all the snow back here, that fence. You guys see that fence all summer long, how buried it is. Okay. fillies in right now and let them eat their grain, and I'm going to work with them while they're eating their grain. All I'm trying to do right now is to build trust. They need to have their feet trimmed, so I need to get this process going. I need to start working with them every day. Probably right now, I mean, we fiddle with them every day, but time to get a little bit more serious because they need to get their feet trimmed. So I'm gonna go bring them in and we'll get started. As you can tell, Jewel is still super skittish. So I'm even just gonna stand here and just let her get used to that. She might get sassy. If she gets sassy, I'll do something about it. Because I'm not gonna let her do anything to try to intimidate me. And all I'm gonna do is stand here and pet her. And they're getting sassy with each other. Hey, 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 hey. Quit. So I'm not gonna tolerate the funny business while I'm trying to stand here. I'll pet Rain while she's standing here. Rain's not as skittish as Jewel, so it's easier to monkey with Rain a little bit. And I'm just gonna, hey. You gotta watch though, because she almost wants to be a little bit of a nipper, so I gotta be careful with that. And now since Jewel's on the other side, I'm just gonna reach over Rain and pet her. I just want to build their trust up a little bit. They were pretty dang good when they were really little, but then, you know, they get out with the big herd and you don't get your hands on them every day enough, and that's just kind of what happens, which is okay. Just really want to get them used to it. So I'm going to start reaching down Rain's leg a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm going to reach over and pet Jewel. Ooh. And Jewel even goes as far to, hey, quit being sassy, to, well, she's leaning into that a little bit. That feels good, she says. That feels okay. So now while they're standing here eating their grain, I'm just gonna take the rubber end of the flag right here and just kind of rub it down their legs. Because like I said, they need to, ooh, look at her getting sassy. So I won't accept that. Quit. So she probably is gonna try to kick me. Quit. I'm just not gonna let her. Alright. And so I'm just reaching down and petting Jewel's feet right now with my stick. And this is a safer way to do this, to get them used to having their legs touched, because if my head was down there with my arm, how much more difficult do you think that would be? Or how much easier, I should say, do you think it would be for me to get kicked in the head? So I'm just reaching down and touching her leg, and she really does not like that very much. So I'm just gonna keep doing it until her expression changes, and then it doesn't bother her. There, that was good. I'm gonna do the same thing with Jewel. Reach under Rain. Jewel doesn't mind as much. You better watch yourself, little girl. Jewel seems to be a little bit better with the legs with that. She doesn't mind as much as Rain here is minding. And now what I'll do probably the next time is separate them while I do this. And I'll just do it for a few minutes every night. And they're starting to shed, guys. Well, look at all that hair on my glove. That means spring's coming, right? So, again, I'm just reaching over and petting Jewel while she eats. And look at, she's staying in there eating, so that's good. Good girl, Jewel. Good girl, Rain. And Rain, like I said, she is really good about you being in her bubble, so she's gonna be a little bit easier to get this handled on. But she really doesn't like her leg touched. So, see, even right there, she's not. That was a lot better. Good girl. So now I'm gonna work on the back leg. Ooh, sassy girl. You better don't. You better not. So I'm gonna keep doing it till her expression changes. I know you guys can't see it, but she's got her ears pinned at me. She just kicked at me, so I'm not gonna allow that at all. Quit. Easy. Quit. So I'm just gonna hold it there because I don't want her to think that kicking is the answer to remove that. So I'm just gonna hold the flag on her leg. There. See? Not so bad. She's still got a nasty expression, so I'm just gonna hold it until she just goes back to eating or ignoring me. There. That's better. So I'm gonna do it again. Don't. Good. Not kicking. So that's good. Now maybe I'll try moving it down the leg a little bit further. Oh, she really doesn't like that. So, again, I'm not gonna stop just because she's moving her foot around. She's gotta know that for me to stop, she's gotta stand still. And the reason why it's really important, guys, to work with a horse's feet, because, okay, imagine if this little flag was a piece of wire. Right? So if it was a piece of wire, she would be in trouble because she would just keep kicking. Good girl. So she stopped, so I'm gonna stop. But if that was a piece of wire, her leg would be tangled and then you have a broken horse. So this is just the very first steps to getting this worked out with these guys. And I'm willing to take it slow. Even though I said, you know, they do need their feet trimmed, I'm still not going to rush them through the process, because if you do that, then you can just create other issues in your horse. So. And Jewel, like I said, her biggest thing is just getting her to trust it. So. But she was a lot better with her feet being touched than Rain was. So that's good. Good girl. So she's dancing a little bit because I'm touching her with that stick, which is okay because it feels really weird. But I'm not going to stop until she figures out what's going to make me stop, which is standing still and letting me touch her leg. Good girl. So then immediate release because she stopped her feet. Alright. Rain, quit. Rain, you're such a bully. Stop. So now I'm doing it again with Jewel here. gotta find the answer, which is standing still again. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. And that'll probably be all I'll do with them today. You really want to let that kind of stuff just sink in. I'm going to stand here until they're done eating their grain and just pet them. But I'll probably leave her feet alone because she did that when she calmed down pretty dang good. Maybe I'll do it one more time just to see if I can get her to do it, but they're just standing. No, she's got to move. So let's see if she can figure it out quicker this time. So just don't move. Just wait for it. Good girl. Look how quick that was that time. That was awesome. Good girl. Hi. So, even though Jewel is a little bit more skittish, she's a lot quicker to catch on here. Which is kind of the personalities of their mothers too. So, and she's real relaxed about me petting her now too, so that's good. I'm gonna move Rain out of the grain and let Jewel in because Rain's being a little bit sassy. So I'm just gonna make Rain stay over here in the corner for a minute and let Jewel eat. Which Rain's not going to appreciate, but that's okay. I'll work on petting Rain with the flag a little bit while she's standing here. Something else to think about. Now they're both going to go pout and eat some hay. But it's important for them to know that people are in charge. So if I'm not eating grain, I get the grain. You notice how they're keeping their space, and well, you probably can't see, but they're keeping their space and not challenging me, which is good. Because you don't ever want a horse to fight you for their grain or come after you for their grain. They need to understand that, you know, we're in charge, but you don't have to do it in a violent way. I mean, I'm not even doing anything other than, hey, 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 but other than acting like a horse would. I'm telling them to quit. Good girl. All right, go ahead, ladies. Go on. Then I'll offer them their grain again. Tell them they're good girls, yeah. Good girls. And so it'll be important, like I said, that we do this as often as possible because their feet need to be trimmed pretty quick here. So, I guess that's enough for today. Good girl. Good. This is really good right now. You guys probably can't see me, but I'm right up behind Jewel. Where she typically doesn't like anybody to be. And she's just happily eating her grain, so that's great. That's great to see. Yeah, good girl. They're super good fillies. Aren't ya? Hi. All right. So, oh, these chickens. So the approach that I'm taking to working with the fillies is just based off of the education that I've gotten with horses over the years and things that I have found to work really well when working with horses. I've made mistakes and I've screwed up, and I just keep learning. So if you guys have any other techniques or things that you do to work with your horses for the first time, or foals, if you've ever worked with foals, comment down below, because I'm always curious to know and I always like to hear what other people do.
So guys, that was my video for this week. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Check out my Instagram at _teamwear, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.